네바지라.
Creators of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou and Fargo.
Allow me to present myself formally. Goldthwaite Higginson Doa, Ph.D. I saw the sign in your window advertising a room to let.
I'm looking for a quiet tenant.
Madam, you are addressing a man who is quiet, and yet not quiet. Allow me to introduce you to my friends, these devoted and passionate musicians.
But y'all don't play no hippity hop songs with the title spelled all funny.
Oh, no. We play church music. But I don't propose to inflict our rehearsals on you. Do you have a root cellar? This looks promising. Well, gentlemen, here you are. Let us make beautiful music. This is the riverboat, gambling den, cash cow. Gawain is our inside man.
Damn Skippy. At the end of every shift, all the cash should move down to the counting room.
And where is the counting room?
Underground.
Underground. The general shall be directing our little tunnel operation. Lump is our blunt instrument. Garth Pancake will be doing demolition work. By all means, let us keep this to ourselves.
Just thought I'd leave y'all with some cinnamon cookies.
There'll be no more.
Unfortunately, Ms. Munson has complicated the situation.
Well, I know how to decomplicate it.
What you doing? I know your mama raised you better than that. What was that?
Well, I'm not even absolutely certain that I heard anything at all. Oh, my. We must have waffles. We must all have waffles forthwith.
Damn. This is a Christian house, boy. No hippity-hop language in here. Sometimes it's the only way.
You ain't gonna hit me.
I'm trying to help you, boy. Better yourself.
And so you should, madam, and so you should.
Hello and welcome back to Neighborzilla for another amazing movie review.
I was gonna count because we used to do like an episode, but
Yeah, I give up on
I don't
that.
even know what we're on.
Yeah, because like
Not 20, but close.
yeah, I think we're definitely in the teens.
Oh yeah, we have like 16 up right now, I think.
Yeah,
So I think we're at 18 technically. Yeah. So this is like 20 or something almost.
but today's film is we kind of did blockbusters to start the season off with, so we're getting back to our roots and obscurity with.
Yeah, it was weird. We did I don't know if we like purposely did like 2 major recent films, but it was just like we wanted to do it. It was like, oh, yeah. Batman, you have to see it. And it was,
Batman come on HBO Max. So the Batman.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the
Batman.
Batman.
And then Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, just because we're both big Sonic heads.
Yeah, you had seen the sequel, and I was like, well, I'd seen the first one, and I genuinely liked it, and I rewatched it, and I was like,
good.
No, it's great. It's good film.
It's a really good family film. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, it's weird. Like, I hate to say it like it's a family film. It is, but it pleased me as a solo adult going into the film, and as a major fan of Sonic, I was still happy.
Right.
I am not one of the super weird Sonic fans, but I do like Sonic the Werehog.
Yeah, we touched on that, and we no need to dive into the furry convention.
So we're doing Sonic 16.
Right. But no, today's episode is The Ladykillers, 2004 film by Joel and Ethan Coen.
This might be our most obscure in the sense of like, these are famous directors, famous directing duo brothers.
Yes.
With the cast alone, it's J.K. Simmons, Tom Hanks, Zhang, or Sung. I forget it.
Zima.
Yeah,
Zima.
we literally looked it up before.
Sorry if we're mispronouncing that, but the general.
Marlon Wayans.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans is in it.
I mean, it's just a heavy hitter cast.
Ryan Hurst, Irma P. Hall. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I'd say this is probably our most obscure as far as like a cult classic.
Super cult classic.
Would you consider this a cult classic?
It has to be. It has to be. To me, this is cult on the level of Dewey Cox. Like, literally, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah,
there's no way you will ever find out about this movie.
It all kind of depends on your definition of a cult classic. Because, like, I'll say this is a cult classic. Because in my opinion, it is.
Right.
But to someone, they're like, oh, well, it's not the Toxic Avenger. Or it's not like...
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
They won't consider, like, any other film.
To me, that's one of the loosest definitions in film, is a cult classic.
Yeah.
I feel like people just use that word for, like, small niche films that build big audiences.
But, like, oh, you don't love Spaceballs?
Yeah, like no,
like,
I don't.
No, I consider a cult classic as, like, a film not a lot of people are talking about.
But it's still good.
But, like, yeah, it's usually like, oh, this is like a Clint Eastwood's first movie kind of shtick.
Right.
But it's just a Coen film that no one talks about. I've met so many Coen fans.
Oh, yeah, everyone claims to be a Coen fan.
Yeah, they want to go on, like, oh, did you know that...
The Big Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski is like the first fan you'll meet.
Yes.
And then you'll meet like the second stage boss is the O Brother fans.
The O Brother were
The O Brother fans are like that level.
People that super champion that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the most pseudo intellectual people.
Facts.
Like, no, you don't get it. It's the Odyssey. Like, no, I fucking get it. I get that John Goodman's a Cyclops. Yeah. I got it. He's got one eye.
Definitely.
Like, I got you. But yeah, no one talks about Ladykillers.
And you have been the literal only person in my life to ever bang the drum for this fucking movie.
Oh, and I've been banging it hard. I've been screaming this film from the rooftops, like
since the early inception of the podcast. It's been
this was almost episode 1.
Ladykillers. What took so long is this movie is impossible to find.
It's I just eBayed it and like found like a used copy for like $5. I was like, I hope this works.
Right, because it's not on any streaming service without being able to like rent it. You know what I'm saying?
And you would think it's a Coen.
Yeah, but every other Coen has been on every other streaming service. Like Big Lebowski's up now.
And you would think even if it's not a big budget, big name Coen film, you would think someone would snatch it up just to be like, we have a Coen film streaming this month. Like, we have a Coen film streaming this fucking month.
Tubi or somebody would have
nothing.
You would think. No, nothing at all. Just super obscure. I don't know the reason, because it came out in 2004, and like I don't remember marketing for this movie. I don't remember anything.
I don't ever remember marketing. I was still a youngin' when this came out, when I first watched the first couple times, but like, I don't remember posters. I don't remember
nothing at all.
I don't, and again, no one ever talked about it. I always thought this was like the Berenstain Mandela effect.
Like one of these isn't real. I feel like I'm watching a glitch in the Matrix type situation.
Yeah, like, have you seen the Coen film? Oh, I've seen them all. Oh, so you like Ladykillers?
Like,
what is that?
What is that?
Oh, it's the movie where Tom Hanks plays a fucking villain.
And it's not like this movie came out like 1982 or something crazy. Like,
no, it's recent.
Super early. It's in their wheelhouse of when they were pumping out the classics that everyone knows and loves now. Like
it's like literally, what is it sandwiched between, by the way? Because I think it's like,
I don't know. Let me see.
This is right before or right after O Brother. It has to be, because they ooze of the same thing. I think O Brother's after this.
It's gonna take me a minute to pull it out.
Oh yeah, you're fine. But I'm just like looking at it conceptually. Like, they're both a Southern American film. It's a very gospel-heavy film. Right. They're very similar on, like, most surface levels, and then even, like, a secondary surface glance. So, yeah, you would think, like, this has to be...
It's 4 years after O Brother.
It's after?
Yeah. Okay. Intolerable Cruelty is a Coen film from 2003. So that was the year before.
Intolerable Cruelty, I think that's the one where the doctor dies of cancer, has like a whole cancer spiel. He has like prostate cancer or anal.
And then Burn After Reading is the film afterward. Came out in 2008. I have
not seen Burn After Reading. I've seen it once.
I recall it, but I don't know if I watched it.
I literally only... Now, that film, I remember marketing for.
I do. Yeah.
They had Brad Pitt in a fucking bicycling shorts or pants or the whole get up, and like...
It was a thing.
That was like, it was a joke. It was like, blah, blah, blah. It's funny. It's extreme. I don't remember anything for Ladykillers.
Nothing at all.
So it's not like, oh, well, maybe they weren't advertised, or advertising was different around that time. Like, no, this is 2004?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing.
Nothing at all. So crazy. And The budget was relatively small. It was $35 million, and it only grossed like 70 plus, a little over 70.
I'm honestly
76.
surprised it grossed that much.
Right. But, so, majorly a flop.
Oh, yeah. Especially for Cohen.
Yeah. Runtime at 104 minutes, so it's short and to the point.
It's shortened to a point, but it still lulls a little bit.
It does.
But the time where I felt it lulling, it was literally right before I was like jumping up like, oh my god, this is the scene where the sheriff thinks that she's crazy because he, quote unquote, meets the professor, who he thinks is her like fucking imaginary friend. So it was like, I kind of get a lulling point, but it's not a boring film at all, especially for the runtime.
No, and the critic notes that I've seen on the movie, of the people that watched it,
Hated it?
Hated it, but like hated it for the reason that they said like it was forced to be funny, and like it's too in your face with the Tom Hanks character gimmick. Everything is so in your face, but to me that's just a Coen. That's just a Coen film, right?
That is just a Coen film, but the things that they're complaining about, or at least in that one or two reviews,
right?
You're like offhandedly mentioning.
Yeah,
I kind of wanted more.
Right, me too.
I didn't feel like it was definitely a threshold where Tom Hanks passed.
Yeah,
but I don't feel he got super out of his comfort zone.
He didn't. No,
he could have been a little slimier.
Definitely could have. And
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. This is one of my favorite Tom Hanks.
Oh no, yeah,
roles.
no, you're a fucking podcast and internet. Use the word favoriter, please.
Favoriter, one of my more favorite Tom Hanks roles. Surprisingly, and I've never seen this movie. I didn't know this movie existed until literally right before this. And no, he keeps you engaged the entire movie.
No, I agree. Yeah.
You're always you want more of the professor. You want more of him, and like you just want the movie to follow him. And it breaks up the cast, and kind of you get each person's little incident.
It does, but
it's not terrible.
It's not even though.
No, it's not at all. No.
It really isn't. Like, now that you were like, oh, well, yeah, each person gets their own. I'm like, Lump doesn't get a goddamn fucking thing.
Well, no, and he doesn't need one other than the little football scene they show for him.
The general really doesn't get anything.
No, he just owns the fucking donut shop, right?
They want that donut money.
The donut money.
And the JK, he gets probably the most.
Kind of.
It goes like the professor... I mean, Irma P. Johnson and all that, like, she gets as equal, if not more, but either way, as far as, like, the heist crew, J.K. is definitely second.
He is, because he's got Mountain Girl.
Gwaine, I guess, is a second, but, like, at the same point in time, Gwaine is forced to be second because he's the inside man. They have to show Gwaine in every scene, yeah.
Which I said it gave me Don't Be a Menace in South Central Without Drinking Juice in the Hood vibes.
It does. You said that in Reservoir Dogs?
That in Reservoir Dogs.
100%.
In a bottle. Like, specifically the diner scene.
I was about to say, yeah, you mentioned it during the diner scene, because that's like...
I mean, Reservoir Dogs.
It's great. I think my favorite thing about, and I hope, and I know it's not true, but like I feel like I want the Waffle Hut scene to be like, they were 99% done with the film, and they were like, oh, fuck.
We need this.
We're doing a heist film, and we haven't had a diner scene.
Yeah.
Because every film has one. Every heist film, you have to.
It is kind of like forced in when you
say that. It just randomly. It's just like, oh, by the way.
For that scene. They could have did that in the room that they were already in.
Yeah, they're not, they like literally leave their secret underground root cellar where, like.
He brought his bitch to the Waffle Hut.
Yeah, like, because the thing was, like, we only talk about it, we're very close-knit. We only talk about it in the root cellar.
Right.
And then 2 seconds later, Tom Hanks is like, we need waffles.
He brought his bitch to the Waffle Hut.
And then J.K. Simmons brings his bitch to the Waffle Hut.
J.K. Simmons is a gem in this movie.
He's a gem in every film.
He is, but like this one, he really gets to shine because a lot of his other roles is kind of like touch and go. Like, they'll cut to him and then immediately, like, he's nothing to do with the plot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's always just funny, like a standalone character. Like, I'm thinking of like Juno and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's always just like at the table. You know, like everything happens around him and then it comes to him.
Yeah, like especially like you're like, oh, Juno. Yeah, especially films like that where it's like, we need a dad.
Yeah.
But, like, you're only in the film to be like, oh, you're such an asshole, Dad. And then, like, at the end, like, oh, you accept me, Dad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's
right.
not, like, utilized a shit ton. Like, he is, but as far as, like, roles, you'd be like, oh, well,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. He's not really funny.
And we mentioned before we were recording, we haven't seen Whiplash, but apparently he kills it in a major role in that with Miles Teller as his drum instructor.
Yeah.
And apparently it's a well thought out performance by him. I really want to check that movie out.
I can't think of any other films where he's the super main character.
Me neither.
I mean, Spider-Man is like probably the closest one because I mean he's in 3 films.
Peter
for fuck's
Parker's
sake.
boss. Yeah. He's actually been in like 6 because he's always.
He is J. Jonah. Yeah,
he is J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he was the someone else.
Because now he's bald in the Tom Holland, the kid ones.
Oh, he's in those
yes.
too? Good for him.
He's just bald. It's funny.
He's just bald.
He's got a gangster mustache. Shut up.
He's supposedly playing Gordon, or he was supposed to play Gordon in a Justice League or some shit.
Oh, wow. Really?
That was weird.
Yeah.
Because like, I saw pictures of him, and he was getting like super fucking ripped.
It's like, Jonah, what are you doing?
And I was like, I don't remember Gordon Ramsay ever like, he's coming downtown! He's got a chair!
Yeah, no.
I don't remember that. But yeah.
Fags.
Yeah, so I can't think of any J.K. Simmons film where he's like the main character, but he's such a gem in this.
He is. Really
fucking
is.
Funny.
Really is. And you said it while we were watching it. You kind of braced me for impact. You were like, look, this is actually 2 different movies.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like 2 separate films because, like, nothing intermingles.
No.
Once the heist is done, there's no police chase afterwards. There's no one's on to them.
There's no payoff. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
Like it literally, the plot shifts almost as quick as what was that movie with Ryan Reynolds, Place Beyond the Pines. Like when he dies.
You mean Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling. I said Ryan Reynolds, didn't I? Oh, hang me, please.
It was really weird because like I just face swapped them.
No, yeah. But no, Ryan Gosling, Place Beyond the Pines, after his character dies and then immediately fast forwards to their children.
Fucks up Eva Longoria's life, by the way. I mean, he fucked up to begin with. And then just, like, gets suicide by cop out a window on the phone with her.
Right.
From some random bitch's house.
Punk-ass Bradley Cooper.
What a dick. He was going for a gun.
Maybe.
He was.
Allegedly. But when... Bad time to bring that up.
What are we... Oh, shit!
But, no, back to the Ladykillers, the movie that no one's ever seen.
Yeah, no, back to a wholesome movie. But, yeah, no. Yeah, like I said, there's no, like... It's not a heist film. I mean, they do a heist in it.
Right.
It has a fucking diner scene. But, like, even her stakes, it's like, I'll call the police. Or go to church on Sunday.
Yeah. It's such a...
there's no one hunting them. There's no dog searching. The heist is done like halfway through the film.
Yeah, like the disbelief you have to buy into in the movie, which I kind of you have to take it at face value.
I made a comment like when the movies because you had texted me and I was in the shower real fast. Because I had just started filming. I was like, well, let me hop in the shower, then I'll enjoy the film. So I was only like 5 minutes in. And I had already like had to tell myself like this is a Coen film. Switch your brain off,
for real,
but not in a bad way where it's like you're watching Peppa Pig where it's like just turn your brain off, blah blah blah. It's nonsense. It was just like I could actually enjoy it.
Exactly.
It's the same thing as like when people talk about like Stranger Things or like the new hit show whatever the season of the month is where it's like I wish I could be that blissfully ignorant,
right,
and just stop being a cynical dickhead and just fucking enjoy something.
And see, like, I call myself objective enough to be able to do that, but even then, like, I can take it for what it is, but the hype around it never contains.
You can still
just
separate yourself from it. You can still be like, okay, well, I'm not getting 6 fucking t-shirts. I don't get the point of that. Yeah. Yeah,
and when you start comparing like average Netflix TV to like the best of TV ever, that becomes a problem because Netflix will only allow you so much so far. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't.
Like, you're never going to be able to contend with Sopranos, a Game of Thrones, shit like that.
No, you have to compare and capitalize everything. Because, yeah, like I was about to say, is like they compare, like, the new season of Stranger Things or whatever fucking is out right now.
Right.
To, like, a Law and Order season premiere as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, these numbers didn't get the same.
It's like, well, Law and Order's been out for 40 fucking years.
Yeah, you have 20,000 people watching even the reruns.
You
have 40 million every episode.
Yeah, you're the flavor of the month. This does this number every fucking week. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like Netflix is so desperate now that they split the last season. Like, there was no need to do that. And like
they do that a lot.
They did it
not even Netflix
to make you buy 2 months. I mean, it's as simple as that. They're desperate for subscribers.
Was that their whole shtick?
To make you pay for July because it come out July 1st.
Gotcha.
Such a fucky little move. Like, I don't care. I have Netflix.
You're doing it anyway.
Yeah, but like,
so is everyone else.
It's so like
no one's fucking buying Netflix just for Stranger Things.
Fuck no.
Because, like, Stranger Things is made for, like, the Netflix crowd.
The Netflix crowd. You're already on their channel surfing.
Yeah, you're already watching 13 Reasons Why. You're already watching the Adam Sandler shit.
Yeah, right. Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, that's so shady.
Yeah.
Back to Ladykillers.
But, yeah, back to something that's actually...
but, yeah, no, it's 2 separate films. The second half becomes, like, this... I don't want to say even a murder mystery, because it's not. There's no fucking mystery. It's just people just like drop dead for the next 40 minutes.
And like IMDb and Metacritic and shit consider this like a black comedy crime thriller, is what they call it.
It's 100% a black comedy crime thriller.
That's what they call it. So, and when you break it down like that, but yeah, when you break it down like that, like it definitely makes a lot of sense being a black comedy crime thriller because it's very dry. The entire movie is just super dry.
It is a very good dry black comedy.
Like, and at first, it's like quirky because of how over the top Tom Hanks is, but like you realize that's the setting for the entire movie. Everyone is that over the top.
Yeah, but it's not like a super over the top, which is fun.
No,
it's very contained.
And like I know this is way earlier, but like. I remember bits and pieces of it, but like the Grand Budapest Hotel, it gives me those similar vibes of where it's just like super, like, I don't know, like bland almost to like a point that it's funny.
Yeah, it's literally, just as a comparison, you can do it visually as well as comedy and like writing wise, as far as like, it's really awkward.
It's like tone, but awkward like, tone.
Wes Anderson is like, awkward extreme.
Yeah, it's super...
The walls are pink.
Yeah.
This one is the same vein, but the walls are yellow.
Normalized,
and sepia, and the comedy is sepia as well.
Facts.
I get that, yeah. It definitely has a kind of Wes Anderson vibe.
Quirky, awkward.
It is.
Those are good words for this movie.
It's very quirky, but like you said, it's not super, to where like when someone does something weird, it's still fucking weird.
But it's so like light on that it keeps the impact at the end of the end of the film. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was too over the top quirky, it would
you would have expected it.
It would nullify all the effect that the ending has.
Absolutely.
And like so it walks this weird line of the over the top exaggeration to the minimalist blandness. And I guess that's I mean I've said it before. I think that's just Coen films. Coen films have this weird way of being super serious and super stupid all at the same time.
Yeah, it's almost so serious that it is stupid.
Yeah.
like the Fargo conversations. Like the my best example is the guy. It's toward the end of the film where the male detective or male sheriff that works with the pregnant one is interviewing the guy.
Yeah.
Sweeping his driveway. And they keep talking about the weather or like how fishing was on the lake, and it's just, oh, you betcha.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
betcha.
betcha. And he's like, he was a funny looking fella.
Yeah, right.
What's a funny looking fella? And it's just it
keeps going back and forth.
It's really dry and dull, but it's fucking funny because it's just
the way they speak. Right.
Yeah, it's definitely I don't want to say a tamer Coen film, but it is very tame, even as slapsticky as it gets, because toward the end it gets fucking slapsticky as hell.
Right, and like this movie's plot, if you want to call it a plot, really doesn't like hold itself together. Like the entire intro is kind of like the individual cast, and because that's really to me was the hardest part to get through was the intro because you didn't know what the fuck was going on for the most part, because there's so many different.
Yeah, you kept waiting for the movie to start.
Yeah, you're like, okay, another character. Okay, this is cool. And you could see who was going to be the guys in each little story or whatever, but it just took a second. But then once it kicks back to Tom Hanks, it pulls the story back together, and then he gets his room and everything. And then it's like, oh, okay, I see the major players. And then you start seeing their personalities and how they're going to clash. And the movie puts itself together.
Yeah, for the first, I'd say almost a third of the film, you're very alienated.
Yeah.
Because there's no set location. Like, there is for the first minute or two. The film starts with Irma P. Hall going into the police station, and she's complaining about, I forget his name. He's the eldest boy. But he went and got himself a speaker, and he's playing the hippity hop music, and she's complaining about it. And it follows her home, and like you're like, okay, this is the established area.
Yeah.
And you meet Tom Hanks, who's in this established area.
Yep.
And no sooner does that you jump to the general. They don't tell you where he's at.
They don't tell you where he's at. They don't tell you what's going on.
Then they instantly jump to Lump.
Lump.
They don't tell you where Lump's at.
On a football field. Like totally.
Yeah. Then I'm sorry, J.K. Simmons was the first or second.
Yeah, but still.
They don't tell you where he's fucking at. And
scene,
it's just,
yes.
It's really, you're so alienated. Then when the film finally does start and like come together slowly, it's mentioned, here it is again, your suspension of disbelief. You answered my advert in the Memphis Sinclair or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, you put out a fucking ad for criminals?
Yeah. Criminals wanted here.
Yeah, it's just
Tom
weird.
Hanks may be the worst criminal of all time.
So you assume everyone was in Memphis, but then it's like, why wouldn't the film take place in Memphis then?
Yeah, it's like way further down south of the Mississippi River.
Yeah, it's in Mississippi in Saucier or Saucrier.
Yeah.
By Biloxi and all that little area.
Right.
But yeah, they don't really tell you. You're so alienated. And then the film finally comes together, and I guess we're getting to the plot now.
Yeah.
And, well, the cast. We haven't really gotten the cast either.
No, I mean, but...
2004.
2004, yeah.
It's a black comedy, obviously.
Yep.
A remake.
Remake of a 1955 English comedy.
Is it a remake? This is the question. Is it a remake or an adaptation?
It's...
Because their True Grit movie, The Coens as well, was based on the book.
Yeah.
So it's an adaptation.
It must be. I guess you would call it an adaptation, like on...
Because it's not a remake. They're not remaking any fucking thing.
Well, in the credits, they give credit to the original writer.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
for
like,
the screenplay.
The idea and the name of the movie are the same, but the original is 1955. It takes place in England.
Right.
The boat where all the bodies get dumped is a train depot.
Right.
And a train.
They're
robbing a bank.
They took an English movie and put it in the Deep South.
So it's an adaptation. Is what I'd name it.
Yeah.
As opposed to being a remake.
Right.
Because I've heard people say it's... I think even the thing in the back of the DVD...
I believe it says
it's a remake.
Well,
and
it's a remake, yeah.
It's not a fucking remake.
I think they have to say that because they give him a writer's credit. Like, he's listed...
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like EVP versus actual director.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like... Oh, you gotta put my name on the movie, but we'll throw you an EVP credit because you didn't fucking do anything.
Yeah, executive producer, good for him. Good old Judge Reinhold.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a adaptation of the
1955
film with the same name.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, it's completely different. It's literally just a name and kind of the basic idea.
Yeah.
I tried watching the original because I like Peter Sellers. I like the Pink Panther. I kind of get it. He's not my favorite, but I get it.
At least just to kind of see where this was coming from.
I don't get it. It's just it's not the same. It's weird. And I love old movies. I love black and white.
Of course.
I love English films. I love English humor. I just don't get it.
Right.
It's not as good. This is way better, and it's not great.
Some movies do that. Like, even like this is an adaptation, so especially in this case, like, the first movie really has nothing to do with the second one other than namesake and concept. Like, you just applied the concept in two totally different movies.
Yeah, like I said, so nothing's the same. There's no lump football player.
Right.
It's just another goon.
Like, you see that a lot
There's
with...
no names.
Like, I don't... It's weird, I guess, to compare, but like Texas Chainsaw Massacres, like the first one compared to like some of the remakes, like concept, yes,
Yeah.
name, but like totally different set and totally different story. It's like
Not even the same.
Not even the same thing.
Nothing,
You know, the same origin of the. But
I guess it's that point where you're changing the origin.
It's like other than namesake, like you just didn't want to come up with a new like title.
Yeah. Like, congratulations, you want to make a monster movie, but Frankenstein is public domain, so you can just call it fucking Frankenstein.
But like you said about their True Grit, it's an adaptation as well. I wonder, like, if they. Is it just movies that they're like so inspired by that they end up writing a screenplay that's similar and they're like, well, fuck it, we'll just adapt this?
I know True Grit was, and I think even this, it was just, maybe this is more what you're saying, Ladykillers. Yeah. I think this was more of a fun thing.
Like, maybe they just liked the original and was like, what if we take that concept and do this with it instead?
But it's weird, because I was thinking that too, because I watched the first Ladykillers before. Well, years ago I'd watched this.
Right.
Then I tried the original one, didn't like it. I still love the Coen film. And then a couple years ago, I had to rewatch Ladykillers again. This one. Loved it again. Tried the English one, and I had that mindset of, like, maybe they just love the film.
Yeah, like, the essence of what this was.
It doesn't feel like a Coen.
It's still...
It doesn't feel like a proto-Coen, because, like, you're thinking, like, okay, da-da-da, maybe has some of the same steps, maybe some of the same humor. I don't even think the photo gag...
No,
is in the original.
Like, I brought it up, maybe some of the names, because, like, Marlon Wayans' character has a wild name.
His name is Gawain. He's the Green Knight.
Yeah. And I was like, well, maybe that's a weird English name from the original, like a callback, but even that's not related. So.
No, the closest name is, like, Caesar, or, like, Cesaro, or some shit in the original.
But it's just like...
There's nothing.
So I don't really know. I'm with you. It must just be, like, a loose influence.
Yeah, it was really weird, because I know True Grit, they just... generally loved the film and loved the book, and the film didn't do the book justice. And I mean, hey, do you want to do True Grit? No shit, yes, I want to do a giant budget True Grit with Jeff Bridges in a serious role.
Gangster western.
You should do that. It's a great film.
I'm with it. True Grit. I haven't watched it in a while, actually. It's been a while.
Let's just do the Coen film/book adaptation.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the Coen films.
And we were talking about this. Somehow it slipped through the cracks. This is our first Coen film review, so...
It is, yeah. I'm glad.
So it's good to get this obscure one.
Everyone does Fargo. Yeah. Everyone does Oh Brother.
Lebowski, yeah.
And
there's so many...
There's certain films that I don't even think I want to do, even if it's because everyone's done them.
Maybe, further down the line when we just come up on hard times and can't think of anything else.
Or someone generally wants to hear, like, I need you guys to do Fargo if I die of cancer.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, whatever.
But what am I going to say?
that hasn't already been said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that way with a lot of movies.
No one's talking about this.
Yeah, I felt that way, like, I was worried that our Batman review was going to do the same, but we liked Totoro enough that I knew we would have different insight. Because no one talked about how Totoro was in that movie.
No, and you had... Because that's always the thing. When, like, hey, we're going to do this film. We're like, I just love this movie. You really have to think, can I fucking talk about this for an hour?
Exactly, yeah. Can you come up with enough
even if I love
verbal content?
I can't.
No.
So there's certain films where it's just like, what am I going to say? Let alone, what has no one else said? What's worth saying? And for something like Fargo, there's nothing there. No, our Secret Window, because you had mentioned, like, oh, someone just did that, and you...
Yeah, and totally
they had a completely different insight, and it was like, okay, well, that I can at least deal with.
Right. Yeah, because, like, they championed Johnny Depp in it because it was his off-season with pirates and shit like that, and they were like, oh, it's such a commendable role to do. It's like, yeah, it's cool and all, but John Turturro
he's getting back to his roots.
Showed up and, like, wrecked him.
So, doing something like the Batman, it was like, we love Turturro.
Yeah, gotta
like,
give
it's
my boy
kind of
props,
we're just doing a Turturro film and a Matt Reeves film.
Right.
And he just happened to do Batman, I'm sorry.
And then the sprinkles on the top of the cake was Paul Dano. I mean...
This is true.
You put Paul Dano in any weird role, and I'm there.
Yeah, I think all I do There Will Be Blood. I want to rewatch it 1 or 2 more times.
I'm with it.
In general, just because I'm addicted. I need to watch There Will Be Blood every 30 days, or I will fucking die.
Right.
But yeah, the cast and it just, you would think that this film had something.
Right.
Nothing. No one fucking talks about it. No one gives a shit.
And
no one even gives a shit to hate it.
Yeah, exactly. That was my thing. Like, you know, because people make flops.
Yeah.
There's plenty of flops that people still...
Exactly. You're thinking,
like,
Ladykillers,
yeah.
that piece of dog shit.
Yeah.
Cohen's worst film. No one's heard of it.
Never heard of it. Like I said, to me, the only movie as obscure as this is Dewey Cox. And and I know more people that have seen Dewey Cox than this movie.
And Dewey Cox was mostly due to writing circumstance because of writer's strike.
Right.
There was no publicity.
There was no promo. This apparently had promo. I don't know.
Oh, actually.
I don't know where, but...
What year was Dewey Cox?
Oh, shit.
Was this the same year?
No, I believe Dewey Cox was
I don't
later.
think so either. This is for the deep cut fans who actually give a shit, because I'm genuinely curious. Because, I don't remember, we were just talking about no advertising.
Yeah.
But, back to the plot. You're very alien if you first start the film. You meet Irma. She quotes my favorite. There's very few quotes in this film.
But they're great.
But I love it.
Come up, yeah.
She repeats, I lost my wallet in El Segundo, like 13 times in 4 minutes.
She does.
That's her complaint, is they're playing hippity-hop music, and he's like, they're doing what? And she drops the N-bomb a couple times, and then she apologizes, then drops it some more, and then she just keeps muttering to herself, so pissed off.
She is
I lost my wallet.
Stereotypical granny down here in the South.
Yes.
The stereotypical granny. Like, bless your heart, I go to church and pray for you, but literally I sit on my couch and just dog
judge.
you.
Just
dog
judge.
you 6 days a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the 7th, I'm not taking off. I'm doing harder.
No, we just do it in group at church. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And wave fans, because they don't run the air.
This boy is still fucking up.
Right. Walk Hard come out in 2007. So 3 years apart.
So this movie had no excuse not to have good marketing.
No. But at the same time, think of 1 Hour Photo that come out 2 years before in 2002. Also not very limited promotion. I don't remember much at all.
It had...
To me, that movie spread word of mouth. Everyone, I know that's how I found it. It was like, oh, did you see the weird Robin Williams movie?
Yeah, it was one of the films where it was mismarketed, too. It's marketed as a horror.
Yeah.
It was marketed as a goddamn horror. All they showed was the bloody eye scene.
That is true.
But it wasn't like this was mismarketed. There's nothing about it. But it's enjoyable. It's not the best Coen film. It's not the funniest.
Yeah.
It's not the funniest film of the year. It's not a 10-star film.
No.
But if you want to see Tom Hanks doing something different...
Super different.
You want to see a Coen film you haven't fucking seen every day.
And it's good. You will laugh.
You're going to like it.
You're going to fucking...
It's fucking great.
It is. It gives... At weird times, it gives... I get Jackie Brown vibes.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? Like the essence of some of those scenes in Jackie Brown, for sure.
Just because it's a very biblical-driven conversation from, a deep southern root, but it's laced with motherfucker.
Right. If Samuel Jackson read you the Bible.
Yeah. But it's just fucking... The character introductions are great. J.K. Simmons is an animal... No, he's not. He's not an animal handler. He is...
Jack of all trades, master.
Yeah, I think he's technically props department because he calls props.
Yeah.
So he's, at least in that one scene, he's props. Yep. The dog is eating nibble ready or ready nibbles something.
It's a World War I gas mask.
Canteen falls off. The canteen falls off first.
Yeah, they can't have that.
Calls props. He's like, I got a backup plan. Don't worry. Easiest thing in the world. Easiest thing in the world.
Oh my god.
Comes out, dog got this gas mask, and you could hear it.
Yeah.
The whole time.
It's great.
It's struggling from the start. So
it's one of those English bulldogs to begin with. They're fat and overweight, so they already have trouble breathing.
Yeah, because you're thinking you're not thinking the dog's gonna fucking die. You're just thinking it's just gonna be a funny gag,
right?
Where the dog's gonna the whole conversation.
No,
and you just hear it slowly slowing down every couple seconds. They're talking. You're like, don't let the animal wrangler fucking see this.
Fuck, get that animal rights act.
And you just...
And then the dog slowly lays down, rolls over, and dies.
It's great because it's like this animal acting. The dog can't help but to die dramatically because it's a movie dog.
Yeah. Hollywood fucking fat English dog.
It throws its paw up, and it's still like,
right.
And they're like,
it's one of the best scenes in the movie.
The mini quiet freak guy's like, get the fucking gas mask off, and he's again easiest thing in the world. Mountain Girl doesn't have the Leatherman though.
Mountain Girl, oh my god!
I love Mountain
Girl. We gotta
Girl.
touch on Mountain Girl. Mountain Girl is J.K. Simmons is fucking like 50-something-year-old.
She's 53.
53-year-old fucking secret lover, I guess.
It's not even secret lover. They're
partners in crime. Goddamn.
Yeah, it's like you can't tell if it's like a forbidden love.
Yeah.
Because like she works for him and they're not married.
But there's this weird fucking tuxedo mask Sailor Moon
concept
going on.
It's really weird. It's great. But yeah, Mountain Girl, she's like, oh, blah, 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 I don't have a Leatherman. He's like, well, give me 2 leads. And she's like, the Jenny's 10 feet away. We can't do it, boss.
Yeah.
And it's great. The tension.
Yeah.
There's more tension in the dog dying than the heist.
Like, the way he goes through that is like he's doing fucking open heart surgery as a doctor in a hospital.
Yeah, he starts like naming these MacGyver things. He's like, then give me like a Sprite and it's so great.
I need an empty Sprite can and some bubble gum.
Eventually, dog, he's like, fuck it, mouth to mouth, and the guy's just like, what the fuck are you? It's
and he can't put the dog's tongue back in his mouth.
Yeah,
it's just
great.
Fucking.
It's so great, and this is like a 4-minute scene. It is.
This is the intro for J.K. Simmons.
It's a beautiful.
It's the first time you see him,
but it has nothing to do with what he does.
No,
he's a demolitions expert in like the heist.
Yeah, like
it literally has nothing to do with this character.
Yeah, we find him like coordinating a commercial.
Yeah,
so it's
like the general. They show him being a badass. Yeah, it makes sense. They show Lump.
He stops the robbery at the donut shop.
They show Lump taking some hits. We got it. He's dumb and stupid.
Clearly concussed, but yeah.
J.K. Simmons just kills a dog.
And I love how the intro is like, jack of all trades,
master of none.
He's gonna help in the demolitions department.
Easiest thing in the world.
It's like that's probably and everything's the easiest thing in the world. That's
so
one
great.
of the best lines of the movie. The easiest thing in the world.
It's that, and I lost my wallet, and I was thinking,
that's it, really. And whatever the fuck Tom Hanks is spewing throughout this movie.
Oh, it's so good. He plays this Southern dandy. He's got like the seersucker suit on.
Fucking Colonel Sanders in the flesh.
It's so great, and the laugh is. It reminds me of what is that? The Big Bang. That guy, the Sheldon guy that everyone. He has that like same like weird, panty. It's just this. He laughs at his own jokes. He's constantly spouting poetry. Like everything is.
I don't have any statistics to back it up, but I think he has the most unnecessary lines of dialogue in a movie ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He just says words.
Yeah, like I said, everything's just a poem, no matter what. Like his first scene is he lets Pickles out.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, "Get the cat," and he's like, "Won't this feline tire of its weary perch and come down to her master's love eventually?"
Oh my god, yes.
And she's like, "What the fuck?" And she's like, "Well, I'll just call the cops then." He's like, "No, I got this. I was a positive Lemur."
Right.
He's constantly quoting this Darwinistic
shit. I climbed a tree
shit.
or two in my time as a youth.
It's so good.
Like, who are you talking to, dude?
Everything's this gorgeous Southern backstory. Everything equates to like a Robert Frost poem.
Yeah,
it's so good.
And like drinking sweet tea on a porch in the summer.
Yes.
Like everything he does ends there. It's ridiculous.
I like to think he's Calvin Candy's relative.
I want that character to be Colonel Sanders that actually goes on to make KFC chicken. What are you talking about?
You know,
like before he gets here, that's where he come from. It's Kentucky.
Oh, I thought you were talking about him. I thought you were talking about Tom Hanks.
No,
playing Colonel Sanders in a biopic.
No, I'm talking about the professor is actually Colonel Sanders from Kentucky, faked his death, come here to do this.
I like mine better.
Possibly.
Tom Hanks doing a Colonel Sanders biopic?
I would also love that, no doubt.
Because if he's done...
No doubt, but I mean,
Mr.
I don't
Rogers?
think he's going to come back and reprise the role, so we're just going to chop this footage up, is what I'm thinking.
We can do it. We can talk him into it.
Possibly.
Like, listen, Tom,
we'd have to talk him into getting lost somewhere, would be the thing. Can you get lost in Kentucky?
I can get lost in Kentucky right now.
If you're in Kentucky, you're lost.
Right? You shouldn't be here. But yeah, he's just a Southern dandy the whole time, like, and I'm not sure it's a character. Like, I don't know if it's...
I would love to know his process.
Yeah, like, if it's a fake... Like, I don't know if he's just, like, known as a professor and, like, he's really, like, this, like, sleazy eye patch salesman from Chicago, but like the whole Southern Dandy's fake, or he is a Southern Dandy and he's also a dickhead.
Yeah, because I kept waiting for him to like drop the ruse.
Yeah.
Like even like towards the end when it's all coming out, what's actually going on? It's like, all right, he's eventually just gonna start talking normal and like.
Yeah, you're expecting like when she catches them and finds the money, like him to be like, get weird. All right, well let's kill this bitch.
Yeah, right. But he literally got worse. It got fucking worse.
Yeah, then he just keeps repeating Edgar Allan Poe for the next 20 minutes.
And I would love to know the process, because, like, you know how, like, they say Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron on Mad Max were, like...
In character and hated each other.
They were not sold on the movie to begin with. Like, it's like they were shooting in an empty desert. And they're like, what the fuck is this movie gonna be, George? And, like, it took them to actually see the movie. I wonder what Tom Hanks is thinking when he's making this movie. Because there's no promotion. No one knows you're in this fucking thing. It took us 2 decades to find the movie. Like, I wonder what his process for this character was.
And it's not the usual stable of Coen actors. It's not Steve Buscemi. It's not Totoro. It's not John Goodman.
Jeff Bridges. None of them.
No one's in there. So it is weird.
It's like he borrowed a Quentin cast or some shit.
Yeah, like this movie really shouldn't exist. Like there shouldn't be a Coen film, because even their newer films and their more obscure ones, it still has like 1 or 2 guys in it.
The cast and director like swap cast with another movie. That's what it feels like.
Like Toy Story 2?
Yeah. You had like a cast of voice actors that ended up in this movie.
Yeah, like J.K. Simmons and Tom Hanks are supposed to be playing like fucking fun space fucking pickles.
It's
and we end
kind of ridiculous that this even exists.
I feel like... Did Steve Buscemi do Spy Kids at this time?
Yeah, no shit.
Was maybe perhaps Tom Hanks supposed to be playing
George
Steve
Lopez
Buscemi's
is
character?
the next 007.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, it's not the usual stable, which is cool.
No.
Yeah, I love when directors have their, like, so you know, like, okay.
Yeah.
I love that this actor's at least getting roles in Quentin films or some shit. Like, you know what to see. But it was just weird. It's not the usual cast.
Right.
No one's on a lull. I mean, Marlon Wayans is
fucking
still doing great.
In the 2000s, that's right off a Scary Movie.
Right.
Going into, like, I mentioned, like...
About to be, like, White Chicks.
Yeah, Don't Be a Menace in South Central. Like, it's all that's in this time period. Right after the Friday.
Right, Tom Hanks has just done, like, Castaway or some shit.
Yeah, no shit. Toy Story.
Yeah, it's really weird that, like...
I bet this is a couple years after Toy Story.
I think it's around the same time as Terminal. Maybe Terminal's a year or 2 after this.
Yeah, Terminal was like 04.
06 or some shit, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah, it's really weird, but I love it.
I love it,
Tom Hanks is playing against cast.
It's like a fever dream. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if I'm real. I don't know if this podcast
No
is
one's
real.
heard about it. And it's really great.
This is the movie the aliens dropped?
This is the crossover film. This is the other. This is the Mandela world. But yeah, there's not much plot. They're robbing a casino boat.
Yeah, the casino boat's got a money room. They're trying to break into the money room.
They rob it. They get the money. Then they kill the old lady. I mean, there's not much plot, but it's just, but it's not scene after scene after scene. Right. It has a good flow to it.
Well, they kill all themselves.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, everything's like a weird, elaborate accident. Before we get to that, I guess we'll get a little bit more in like the beginning.
Yeah,
not even plot, but scenes. They all meet.
Yeah,
at her
Root
house.
Cellar.
They're covered as a band.
They're faking as musicians. Yeah.
So they're just playing like the stereotypical like Starbucks classical music.
Yeah.
CD track 1 and 2 is like Beethoven. Like they're just
violin, cello.
It's great.
Trombone,
it's not even the same instruments.
Yeah. What's he call it? The nutsack?
The butt sack.
The butt sack.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, Lump plays the butt sack. He plays the shit out of a lump sack. He plays it like a pussy.
Yeah.
Well, so I've been told.
You know.
But yeah, they all did little character introductions, like we mentioned.
Oh yeah.
The general is being robbed for that donut money.
That donut money.
Him and Dragon Lady are getting robbed for the donut money.
And he comes out, and it looks like a scene from fucking like Kung Fu Hustle or some shit.
It does.
He's got a cigarette like barely hanging in his mouth.
He's got the same essence as the landlady.
Yeah, like the landlady. Yeah. And like he's got the cigarette barely in his mouth, and he just shoves his fingers up the dude's nose.
He's got the toothbrush mustache, the
Hitler mustache.
The Hitler mustache. It's weird, but he
pulls it off. Good for the general.
It's just weird, yeah. Like, you assume, because, like, everything mentioned about him is Vietnamese.
Yeah.
The Vietnam War, he owns a Vietnamese donut shop. Like, he's Vietnamese.
Only Mr. Zima is actually a Chinese native from
He
Hong Kong.
He is 100% Hong Kong native. But it's weird.
It's pretty ironic.
Lumps is football, yeah.
This shit would never fly today. You can't do that cast.
No.
You would have to.
Not at all.
Yeah, you can't.
Lump would be queer.
Yeah.
They would have to give Lump a bisexual arc.
Someone would be gay.
They have to.
Yeah.
Oh, Professor,
Yeah.
I need your wiener.
Think I'm gay. Yeah.
Oh, Lump.
But like you said, comparing it to the original from 55, where the dump-off site for the bodies is a train depot.
Yeah, it's like a train depot.
This is like a trash barge.
Yeah, and it takes to a garbage island.
Yeah, which is
fictional.
super fictional.
Because we live in Mississippi. Yeah. I've been to Saucier, wherever the fuck it is 100 times.
However you pronounce it.
I've never heard of a garbage island.
Me neither.
I do want to go and find the bridge.
Me too.
Let's get stoned one day. It's only like 3 hours away and not even...
Yeah, it's gonna be up in the Delta, right? Around Natchez somewhere.
Oh, no, it's up by Biloxi, down by Biloxi.
Oh, okay, down south, okay.
Yeah, so it's only like an hour or two.
That'd be a fun road trip.
Let's find it.
That'd be,
let's see, there's gotta be at least 1 or 2 real landmarks.
This is where the Ladykillers was filmed. People in the town don't even know what the movie is. They're like, what the fuck is the Ladykillers? So then we're just on a quest to like educate the town.
Tom Hanks ain't never been here.
Yeah, you're like, y'all two are smoking PCP. There's no fucking way Tom Hanks was filmed in our city.
Viewing. Let's do it. Let's give it. Because I don't think that they have anything.
Maybe I think that's our life mission now.
Tangerine Festival or some shit.
Maybe.
Let's do it, because like I know the Blob has its own like festival every year, like running of the Blob and shit.
Right.
Let's do it. Let's give Mississippi something to shine about.
For sure.
It's a Coen film too.
It's a Coen film with Tom
Who
Hanks.
doesn't want that?
Captain Phillips, Sully.
Hey, I'm the goat now.
Bye.
Love it. But yeah, it's and no one's. I heard a couple of people complain about Marlon Wayans, and like you were saying, the complaints about being over dramatized.
Yeah.
In their conversations, I get it, but he's supposed to be.
He's supposed to be. Do you see how over the top everyone else is?
But it's not like because you have to compare it to even another film Marlon Wayans has done. Don't Be a Menace.
Right, that's over the top.
Wayne is really not.
Yeah.
Over the top compared.
Salary, all of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sex.
Yes, please.
It's fucking. Do I wear high tops with Tech Nine?
Yeah.
I'll just wear these.
Yeah.
Little bunny
His hair
slippers.
Progressively changes too. Like he's got like a bag of weed.
My favorite is the condom and the
baby
pacifier.
milk. Yeah.
It's so good. So I mean, like even that. You can't complain and say it's over dramatic.
No.
The tensions between J.K. and him, they're not racist.
No, they're fucking hilarious.
Because he makes a point. His name's Garth Pancake, by the way. I keep forgetting to mention. J.K. Simmons' his name is Garth fucking Pancake.
Garth Pancake, which is one of the best names ever.
He came down with the Freedom Riders or some shit.
He did, from...
So, like, it's not even like...
Pennsylvania?
There's...
Home of the Office.
Scranton, Pennsylvania, yes, because I made a joke. I was like, and all the fucking Office fans are screaming right now.
Yeah. His home was right next to Dunder Mifflin.
It's true. His daddy actually started.
Mm-hmm.
Easiest thing in the world. Paper. Easiest thing in the world.
Easiest thing in the world. He's not wrong.
So yeah, like it's not, their arguments aren't out of ordinary.
No.
Everything is like realistic. Their argument inside the Waffle Hut. You brought your bitch to the fucking Waffle Hut.
You're supposed to bring anyone to the Waffle Hut.
Yeah, it's an exaggerated argument, but it's not like they're arguing about shares of the money.
Well, and it's not really even that over-exaggerated because they're on his ass about losing his job.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're treating him like a fuck-up, and
so
they're trying to fix his mistake.
Y'all are mad at me for getting fired. This motherfucker's got somebody outside the group.
He's leaking information. Yeah. He's having her outsource shit.
So his gripes are actually justified.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just really weird because a lot of people were complaining about Marlon Wayans. They were like, "Oh, he's just really over the top and it's really exaggerated." And I'm like,
to me, one of the most over exaggerated ones is the fucking general.
Yeah.
Right? Like his lack of
everything,
and his like crazy kung fu powers is like.
Yeah, like he's
like a trained military assassin, but like
the general is the magical Negro character of the film.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. It's really weird.
It's so funny.
But I love the chemistry between everyone.
Me too.
It's so good. I love the JK arguments between him. Because, yeah, from that moment on, I think that's the big straw is he brings Mountain Girl to the Waffle Hut.
Yep.
And that's it. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's the fight. Oh, and his irritable bowel syndrome.
Which doesn't get brought up. You would think...
Kicks up, like, right after this, right? Isn't it?
No.
Well, it starts after the Waffle Hut scene, doesn't it?
No.
It's like the second half of the movie.
The first time you hear about it is in the fucking heist.
Oh, when he's in the tunnel.
In the money room.
Oh, my God.
No, not in the tunnel. In the money room.
God.
It's so weird, because you would think, like, it's a Coen film. They like their little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
They're good with dialogue. You would think they'd mention it. Like, why did you pick the Waffle Hut? I got IBS. Yeah. What? I can't have this. No waffles. I got IBS. Right. There's no comment. There's no comment of him taking medication. But from the second they mention it, every fucking time they mention his character, IBS.
From then on out, literally
to his death,
every conversation
is IBS, and it's really weird. I'm like, could you just edit one of these conversations to be before the heist? Because it's like literally they're in the money room, money in hand, about to leave, and he's like, I gotta use the little girl's room. Like he just drops the money. He's just like, I gotta shit. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
And I get it if that was like the only time it mentioned, or maybe once or twice.
But it's like
it's
consistent like, from then on out.
Yeah, there's like 16 jokes about it in the last 10 minutes of the film.
Because
like,
Gwen's even like, what is it like? Is your what's he say? He says something when he's in the fucking tunnel. He's like, I hope you shit yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, so like everyone apparently knows from then on, and it's just like
but it's
common
not
knowledge.
Mentioned before. Yeah, it's really weird. You would think like at least one offhanded mention of it. But it's not at all. And it's like, what the fuck? That's my most out of the ordinary gripe.
And fucking Pickles the cat has more screen time than most of the characters.
Oh, Pickles the cat has more lines of dialogue than Lump.
Easily.
Like
Lump and the General put together.
It's insane how often Pickles is in it. It's like the first scene
constantly
you meet,
gets out the house.
He gets out. And then the finger scene, he gets out. A scene before that, he gets out.
Yep.
Then when the band comes in the day before the heist.
When she's trying to leave again.
Out.
Oh my God, Pickles! Yeah. Oh, we'll get him. Don't worry.
Yeah, the cat gets out twice during a music recital. When she's leaving and then when the house blows up.
Yep, because he's got to go back in.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's great.
It's nuts.
But yeah, the random IBS is like my most hardest thing I have to like, okay, I'll turn my brain off.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the time, it's like, okay, it's a Coen film, it's a dark comedy. Suspend your belief.
And at that point, like, I'm already laughing so much, just like, I'm in my rhythm of laughing. So when the IBS shit comes up, I'm just, it just adds it to the top. I'm just going with it.
Yeah, it's just on the list.
Yeah,
it's just whatever. But yeah, because everything else is a callback. Like, the Gwen being scared of her.
Yeah.
Because she reminds him of her mom.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, that's a callback to him because she smacked his ass before and he ran off.
Yeah.
Like, he was instantly afraid of her. The general falling is him just being clumsy because...
And I love it, he's supposed to be like a military tactician, but he swallows it. He swallows a cigarette that's always hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah.
He drinks her teeth. He stumbles down the steps, hits his head,
because he's doing
breaks
the trick.
his neck. Yeah.
The cigarette trick, because she doesn't want anyone smoking inside the house. So he's like, I'll just flick it in my mouth like that whole party trick.
Yep. And he fucking chokes on it.
And the cuckoo clock kills him.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's when like the slapstick starts. It's insane.
Oh yeah. And literally from then on out, it's hit after hit after hit after hit. Because the deaths come rapidly.
Oh yeah.
The body disposal.
Every scene
becomes like
from then on is death.
The punchline of the comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And each time it gets progressively better.
But we meet Mr. Gudge, who is played by, I forget his name, but he's in a lot of Mike Judge movies. He plays Bill Dauterive.
Oh yeah.
You've seen him a lot.
Oh yeah.
I think he's in Fargo. The show. I think he's in. I just seen him on something else. Oh, Get Out. He's in Get Out.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's in the TV at the end.
We should do a Jordan Peele.
I want to. I
don't know which one, but...
I want to do Get Out, but at the same time I don't.
Yeah.
I definitely want to do Us, but I haven't seen it enough.
Me neither.
So I think we're just going to do Nope. I think we're gonna do another like as it
Do it
comes
when it
out,
comes
newer
out.
one,
I'm with it.
and
with
then
it.
just go from there. Because there's only 3 films.
May have to try to go to the theaters and catch that.
I might.
That'd be dope.
I might do it.
Just-
Just I'm interested in
Just
shit.
the fuck, yeah, me too.
Jordan Peele and aliens and horses. Let's go, bro.
I think that's gonna be his wheelhouse because, like, see, he kind of gravitated to like didn't he do some Black Mirror episodes?
No,
he did the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, he didn't do it Black Mirror episodes. He may have acted in one, and maybe
yeah.
wrote the one he acted in.
And
But I know he did Twilight Zone.
He did something else, but he's kind of stayed in that wheelhouse of like extraterrestrial kind of foreign sci-fi, I guess.
Offhanded,
spooky.
weird.
Yeah. As opposed to just horror, because I think he tried that out. He dabbled in it, and he didn't.
Get Out
he
is
didn't
his
get
closest
it.
horror,
Yeah,
and it's not a good horror film.
It's not.
Get Out's really not that good of a film.
It's not.
It's good. It's impactful, but
Yeah.
it's not. Us is way better.
And see, I haven't seen Us. I need to see it.
It's his most interesting. It's definitely his most interesting.
I feel that.
Especially for being only a second
Yeah.
film. It's definitely handled.
And
way
the
better.
remix for I Got Five on it is top notch.
Dude, that song has been in my life forever, man. Because the OG came out around when I was in high school-ish. And then GTA 5, it's on that, I think. Or it's in San Andreas. I think it's in San Andreas. And it was just like, it's just constantly always there. And it's such a good fucking song. But, yeah, back to the plot. Like I said, there's not really a lot of plot going on, but they get the money. No problems at all. The biggest problem is Gwen getting fired. Instantly it's solved because Blump has the brilliant idea of let's just bribe him. Because in the whole Waffle House scene, as you remember, everyone's arguing. They're like, oh, we'll give him chocolates. And Gwen makes a comment of like, I doubt Mr. Gudge is going to go dry humping a candy bar or some shit or rolling over for one. And it's fucking funny. But yeah, Lump just looks over and he's like, let's just bribe him. Ergo, Gwen gets his job back. And like 2 days later, the heist happens. It happens no problem. The IBS.
The way Gwen interacts with his boss is fucking hilarious.
It's so brutal because he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Why should he give a shit to begin with, let alone like he knows he has a job for a heist only?
It reminded me of Ted.
Mm-hmm.
When he's forced to get the job at the grocery store.
Yeah, doesn't he have like a grocery store job or some shit?
It's like, you were caught having sex with the produce.
He's like on the produce, not with it?
Yeah, that we sell to families. It's like, yeah, I used that banana and sold it to a family of 4.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying? No.
There's no like, there's no Johnny Law on the tail the whole time. It's just, that's it. The cop doesn't give a shit. I guess I should mention my favorite scene with Irma trying to convince the cop that the professor exists.
Yeah.
And the way she describes it, he is like a mystical character, like this imaginary friend. He's just...
He talks in riddles.
Yeah, he's always talking in riddles. He's this fine southern gentleman.
Yeah.
By the way, he's white. And, like, you can tell by the town. Like, you meet very few townspeople, but it's an elderly black town.
Yeah. Super
is elderly and black, yeah.
One church, like, yeah.
Yeah, there's no hustle and bustle. Like, so, like, it's this very close-knit small town. And you just have this, like, small, like, little invasion that no one knows about. But she, like, is so aware of it because they're not hiding it because they're bad.
Yeah.
They're blowing up the house, and people are watching it, and they just don't know. It's so great.
How many times does the house, like, literally shake from explosions?
There's just the one explosion, but, like, there's other things, like someone falling, or, like, blatant smoke in here and there.
Everyone's like, did you just see that? They're like, oh, no, it's nothing. It's nothing.
She's describing her, the professor to the cop. And she's the town tattletale.
Yeah.
Like I said, the intro scene is her complaining about...
Yeah.
Someone losing, someone losing a wallet and also Goondale. It's great. She's very detached.
Yeah.
She makes a comment about Othar living at the house still. She makes a couple of comments of that, and everyone's like, okay.
And her husband's been dead for a while now.
20 years, I think, the comment is like 20 years, because she's like, I'm 63, I spent 40 some of it married, which is weird, because she's like, oh, he's been there for 20 years. I'm like, is he your fucking brother?
Right. What the fuck
I'm
is
adding
this?
these numbers, and I'm close to 60-something now, and we haven't even started talking about non-Othar. Yeah, I mean, it's weird.
Tom Hanks talking to her is some of the best dialogue in the movie.
Because she's so confused, and he's trying to confuse her,
And he does
but she's
it so
confused
well.
to begin with, so he doesn't need to go about this elaborate way of talking, but she's just, it's so great.
He talks in like laps around her. It's fucking hilarious.
About nothing, He'll be like, oh, how's the tea? You're like, oh, it's positively lukewarm on a hot summer day next to an autumn flower, and she's like, cool. Do you want to talk about Bob Jones University more?
Oh my god. Bob Jones University.
Yes, the infamously, hard Christian, racist fucking college. It's so great. I think someone bitched about that, too, when it came out. I think it was the Ebert, or one of them.
Possibly.
Someone made a comment, and it was like, well, that's the joke.
Yeah.
She doesn't
know. Get it. She thinks she's doing a good thing, donating to the Christian school.
It's a Christian, it's great. I think it was like 1995 or 80 something they allowed interracial dating or acknowledged it, let alone allowed it.
Yeah.
They're like, fine, it exists.
It just acknowledged slavery and
it's great.
Like, dude, it's 2022. Like, the rest of the world.
They're like, fine, this Holocaust. There might be something to this Holocaust. It's so great.
Yeah.
But yeah, the joke is just everyone's like a caricature, but it's not super overdramatic. Gwaine is just a young, black, annoyed fucking Southern guy who just doesn't give a shit. JK's just a fucking idiot who is a prop guy. Why would you have a movie prop guy doing your explosions for a real heist?
Right.
Tom Hanks is just this weird Southern dandy.
Yeah.
The General's this mute Vietnamese guy who's good at tunnels.
It's so good.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
But no one's extreme. It's not no one's coming in with a sombrero like, well, this is normal.
Yep.
But it's just, everyone's just weird character. They finally get the money, obviously, as we've said. And she immediately catches them.
Yes.
Immediately
obviously.
catches them.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I guess we forget to mention, Garth Pancake blows his finger off.
Yes.
Because
He's Garth fucking Pancake.
Plastique is explosive. It's supposed to be inert. But easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, easiest thing in the world.
And he just hits it with a hammer.
Yeah.
Even if it's not.
That's his reason. He's like, this stuff's so safe separately that I can hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, and he just goes for it.
And he fucking does.
He's like a fucking Billy Mays. It's so great. He's just like, you can hit with a hammer. And he just tries it right away. He's like, hammer, boom. Blows his fucking finger off.
my dick. Yeah.
And he tries to get a bigger cut.
Constantly.
Yeah, and that's another weird thing. They just turn him into this rat.
This nagging thing, yeah.
But, I guess the whole time...
He kills it, though.
He's been there. He's been a rat because he instantly told Mountain Girl.
Exactly.
So it's you're not caught off guard.
No, that's his character.
Because, they show her... they try to be sneaky.
Yeah. It's like, don't say anything to anybody. It's like, well, I just told these 100 people who's going to come by the house, you know?
Gwaine first to die, correct?
Yes. He goes first.
We gotta kill her, obviously. Gwaine goes up.
They draw straws.
And he has a flashback to his mother whipping his ass over a dog, and he's just...
She's beating his ass and wait till your dad gets home to finish
yeah, she's preheat beating his ass.
Hilarious.
And he has a flashback and gets traumatized and stops. And then he comes downstairs, him and Garth Pancake get in another argument, and he is the first one to be like, well, equal responsibility. And it's like, you just try to get in the bigger cut for losing a finger.
Yep.
And you're already planning on fucking us over. It's so great. They get into a little tussle. They kind of don't tell you who got shot, but it's blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
Gwaine's expression is so much more lifeless.
Exactly.
And Garth is just a plain faced.
Yeah.
But they kind of try to play it off like eat their cake too. Gwaine dies, and they do a quick little scan too as they're loading into the hearse of Mountain Girl flashing the lights and him okay, we're gonna fuck them over.
Yeah, and that's one of the funniest scenes because J.K. Simmons is I guess tries to swindle the group with the 2 bags of money going to his van.
Yeah, he's replaced with Life magazines.
And the way it's shot, you see the general run for a good 50 yards before he actually gets.
Yes, because I noticed it. but I didn't at first. Like, he's like doing this weird little shuffle. Like, he has no hustle to begin
IBS.
with. But he's before the IBS. Before the IBS, he doesn't have any hustle to it. If I had $1.6 million, oh boy, I'd be booking it. Like, you know what I mean?
IBS would have kicked in faster.
Right, but he's got this, like, little shuffle. This, like, little fucking waddle. And, Mountain Girl's watching.
Yeah.
And he does, cause when IBS hits him, he just, like, shuts down.
It's like he's getting tased.
It's so great. Yeah, he just shuts down. And she, like, mumbles a comment. And you can vaguely in the back of the scene, see this little shadow running.
Yeah.
And I'm pissing myself. Like, are they really going to make you watch the General book it this whole fucking block? And they do. He runs in the background the whole time. You don't quite see it, but...
It's like the long shot scene from Superbad where Michael Cera's running from Bill Hader.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jesus Christ, he's the fastest kid alive. That's...
Yeah. He gets to the truck, and she's like, oh, you're IBS again, because he's again stopped moaning.
Yeah.
General's choking him out with the piano wire, which I love it.
Yeah, super kill. That's what made you think like he was going to be like the super badass?
Yeah, just the Hitman style, just like the garrote wire, and it's just like, you can't not kill someone like that and not be a badass.
Right.
Like, even if you got like a midget killing someone like that in clown face.
Until the cuckoo clock gets him.
It was like, damn, it was badass. He did use a garrote wire. Yeah, but the General then comes back, and they have a little gag, which I love, which is them dropping the legs. And it's this big, hairy set of legs with hiking boots.
Same set of legs twice.
And they're like, oh, okay, well, let's get Garth now. And the legs are no hairier. It's the same body double. It's so fucking great.
It's literally the same body drop twice.
It's fucking great. I love it. And it just, that's the movie, toward the end, especially. It's just these little gags.
Yeah.
They just build.
It's gag after
and build.
gag. Yeah.
And build. Because, like, from that point when one person dies, it's a domino effect.
How many trash barges ran that one night?
Yeah, I made a comment. I was like, keep in mind, this is all one night. Because, yeah, there's like 6 separate body disposals going to this fictional garbage island, like 100 yards offshore.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. But it's a suspension of disbelief.
Yep, yeah, you can't focus too hard on it.
It's like, whatever, there's 39 garbage barges going by that night. Fuck it. But, yeah, it's just death after death after death.
Yeah, until it's what, Lump and Tom Hanks?
Yes, it's just them.
And then Lump gets this crazy like heroic spirit, and he's like, okay,
I think doing Death or Missing General, right? So I guess part of his real past. It's great. It's the worst one.
Yeah, she's asleep, and he's like gonna go choke her out with the same wire.
Yeah, he does his little cigarette trick, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm going back," and I'm gonna kill her right now. End it. Cuckoo clock scares him.
Yep, swallows a cigarette.
He swallows a cigarette, goes for water. It's the water with her teeth in it. He maybe swallows the teeth or like spits it back out, freaks out.
Sees the teeth, yeah.
Runs.
Chokes
Cat
on the
trips
water,
him.
yeah.
And he snapped his neck.
So Pickle actually has a kill.
Yeah. It has a kill and a body disposal because of the finger later.
Yep.
But yeah, the Generals is like the most overdramatic slapstick death. It's like Mouse Hunt level.
It's pretty funny. It reminds me of Breaking Bad, the Bill Burr act of God, when they go to get the boss that's been banging the wife to sign the check, so they don't have to go to court or whatever.
Okay,
and
vaguely.
He trips over the rug, and he breaks his neck and everything.
Yeah, it's just one of those like weird, like it's anticlimactic.
Yeah, like you shouldn't get that hurt from that, but you
right.
die.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like this had to be written because this doesn't happen.
Bill Burr was like, yeah, it's an act of God. What do you want from me?
Right, like...
We're trying to get him to sign the papers. It's an act of God.
But, yeah, now it's just Lump and the Professor. Professor instantly throws it on Lump, of course, because he's a dumb muscle.
Yes.
And as you were saying, he gets this, like, little jump of, like, no, this is wrong, blah, blah, blah.
We should go to church with her.
I've been thinking. Yeah, oh, no.
Like, oh, no. This is the best line.
I've been thinking, just followed by a quick own.
It's like us. Anytime I have, like, a serious, I was like...
I get this really good idea. Fuck.
Jesus Christ, what is it?
Great. Jack McBrayer is going to stand behind you the whole time.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And I love it because it's... You know it, because, like I said, this past 15 minutes, it's just been body after body after body. You know Lump is going to die. You know the Professor's going to die, but you don't know when.
Yeah.
And you expect him to be drawn out. And it's it. He tries to shoot the Professor. For some reason, act of God. Act of God.
Act of God.
The bullet doesn't work.
Yeah.
Lump, like a dumbass, goes like, no bullets?
Looks in the barrel.
Just stares down it, blows his brains out. Neatly falls into a garbage barge.
Yeah.
And then, Tom Hanks has, like, another, like, little... I think he quotes Edgar Allan Poe again.
Edgar Allan Poe, because the Raven lands on the...
No, he's quoting something. Then the Raven shows up. Then he quotes the Raven, and the statue falls, and conks him on the head.
And hangs him, and then he falls to his own convenient passing trash barge.
Yes, after he hangs for a minute.
In the same night.
It's a beautiful scene, too. I mean, it really is shot well.
And, yeah, like, the impact of actually seeing Tom Hanks die on screen.
I was curious.
Period.
Like
in any film is like, oh.
It's very finite when Tom Hanks dies.
It's like, whoa. Yeah.
Tom Hanks can't die.
And that's literally, like, the last scene in the film.
Yeah, I was curious how it was going to impact you, because, like I said, I'd seen it dozens of times. I was waiting, because you were like, oh, it's just Lump and him. And I was like, is he planning, like, another 10 minutes in his head? And you had that face of like, man, there's like another 10 minutes left, right? So it's going to be like this, like, back and forth. And it's just, boom, statue on the head.
I watched the last probably 10 minutes of this movie just with my mouth open, like, there's no way. Like, there's no way all this is happening.
Yeah, it just wraps up so neat. Everyone dies. But yeah.
The lady's still perceived crazy by everybody in town.
Yes, because she wakes up.
Yeah, like she's trying to tell everyone about the professor.
The professor and his band now. He has a bunch of friends too. Yeah, I love it. She wakes up like nothing happened. I guess she had like her hearing aids off, or just
something.
There's no way she slept through it, but she slept
she
through
may
it.
have, yeah. Because she gets up and like she doesn't even notice the water's out of her teeth cup or whatever.
She glanced at that, but she was like, huh, and that's it. Yeah. And she walks down, notices like the hole in the wall. Makes it like little Othar.
And then opens the door downstairs and sees the fucking table of money.
The beautiful pile of money just stacked up nicely. And she instantly goes to the police station, like, let me tell them about this. Because I think she opens the door and the newspaper's there. Yeah. And it says, like, 1.6 million missing, casino heist, like, it's the biggest news.
Yeah.
And she goes right down and they're like...
I know what happened to that money. I have it.
Yeah, she's like, oh no, the professor took it, and instantly the guy zones out. He's like, oh, cool, great.
Who is the professor? Yeah.
It's like, you keep the money. And she's like, oh, I can't. I'm like, you just fucking don't. I don't care. Leave.
Would it be okay if I give it away?
Yeah, and she gives it all to Bob Jones University, and that's the end of the film.
And the cops just, like, trying to get rid of her, so he's like, you know what? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Why don't you go do that?
Yeah, they're like, cool, we don't care at all. In case you haven't been here for the last hour and a half, we don't give a shit. Like, yeah, they just want her gone, and she goes home and writes a check for Bob Jones, and
that's that.
That's it. It's so great. So where would you rate this as far as Coen films?
Oh, Coen films. Let's see.
I mean, I know you don't know them all, but I mean, remember True Grit? Remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know all of them, but I know the hits.
Yeah.
The ones that everyone knows, and I gotta be real. This is up there.
Right.
This is up there.
I think it's up there because it's not so great. It's not the best. It's not the funniest, but it's solid.
So yeah, I guess so, because like all the other Coen films, you go in with an expectation.
They're all cult classics.
This one, there's no expectation at all.
Yeah.
So the fact that it is so good kind of takes you aback.
Yeah, you expect it to be a bad film. It's like, okay, everyone has that one bad film, and it's like,
yeah, the one goofy, quirky, phone a friend film. Hey, Tom Hanks, I need you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a movie due by Wednesday. Like, come do this. But
I'd say it's
top
probably
three?
top 3 or 4. Yeah,
top
for me.
3 or 4. Yeah.
I think True Grit's definitely top 1 or 2, only because it's so long. It's so
good.
It's a great film. It's cinema.
Yeah, exactly. That was a serious attempt at a drama. Like,
I'm not a big Lebowski fan, I'll be honest. So it's definitely way higher than Lebowski.
Yeah,
it's definitely at least number 3. There might be a film between.
And see, like, I don't know that many of them, so to me, I put it right above Lebowski, like you said. Lebowski's probably would end up in my top 3.
I mean, I don't hate Lebowski. It's just it's like Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's like the first Jurassic Park. It's just okay.
The hardest thing would be picking a number 1 Coen film for me.
I just picked True Grit because it's just such a fucking.
I think I got
powerhouse.
to too. Yeah, because it's just a serious banger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's nothing cute about it. It's
yeah,
just,
it's
a good
not
movie.
my fault that they decided to
Right.
pick this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Fargo is its own beast.
Yeah.
It's its own beast.
Equally as good. Just I kind of keep that separate.
Yeah, I think Oh Brother this might be slightly higher than Oh Brother only because it's shorter, it's less convoluted.
Yeah.
It's good, clean, shut your brain off and laugh.
Right.
Where opposed to Oh Brother or something like that,
And
you're trying to say something.
The last 30 minutes of this movie, it's,
like you said, it's
hit after hit.
It is
it's
like
hit after,
two
like,
separate films. Like I said, it's a heist and then it's just a black comedy.
Yeah, and this movie hits hard when that switch flips.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, yeah, it's just body after body after that. Like the second you're like, okay, we got a killer.
Now everyone's dead.
It was like they looked at the time, like, we have 20 minutes left, and we have all the characters still. We need to kill them now.
Kill them all right now.
But my opinion, if you like Cohen, and if you don't, try it. If you like Tom Hanks, definitely try it.
Yeah.
It's not what you expect. It's not great, but you're not gonna be disappointed.
I would encourage that. If you're a Tom Hanks fan, definitely check this out because it's completely different than everything else he's done.
Yeah, it's not Castaway, it's not Terminal, it's not Toy Story, it's not
Captain
Phillips.
Phillips.
It's just a. I keep saying short only because it's a short, fun movie. There's not a lot of plot, like I said. There's not.
But it also doesn't leave you a lot of time to like linger on the fact that the story is like
there is not
held
a lot
together
of
with duct tape.
Yeah, right.
They're like, look, we get this is stupid. We're just gonna wrap this up for you.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like it's weird because, like I said, it's not the same as the original one, but it's just like they kind of like the idea.
Yeah, it's like, okay, all these guys
doing a heist and then it falling. It is a Coen film on paper. It is.
Oh yeah.
But it's not in execution.
So crazy, yeah.
It's not in its comedy. It's not in its humor. It's not in its action. No one's getting thrown in a wood chipper.
Yeah.
But people are dying just as thematically, if not better. It's weird.
It's a crazy film. It's a crazy film. I'm glad we watched it. I'm
really stoked for this season. We have a lot of because this is the season where it's kind of like we did what we had to do for the first season, with still doing our fun stuff. But now it's like
we're just doing film.
Yeah, we can just dive in a little bit deeper. Where it's like I really just want to do this fucking film.
Right.
I really just want to do Ladykillers. Yeah, there's just no other reason other than it's a great Coen film.
Yeah.
It's a great Tom Hanks film.
And again, this would have been done so much sooner, but finding this fucking movie was a goddamn chore.
Well, yeah, it was one of those things where it was like neither one of us wanted to commit to just buying DVD. It was like, because then it starts on a slippery slope.
Well, you figure there's 5,500 fucking streaming services.
Right.
One has to have it for the free. Like, come on.
You can rent it for like $3-4.
Yeah, but
no one
could not find this thing anywhere.
No, you had to like go out of your way and fucking buy this movie. So yeah, I just said fuck it. I'm just gonna buy it. I'm gonna watch it 100 times anyway.
Yeah. Oh
Screw
yeah. No, this will be thrown in rotation for us. I can see that now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Kill Bill. This. There's some staples that just get recycled.
You got your Kill Bill. You got your Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
You got your Ladykillers. You got your Walk Hard.
Yeah.
You got your, I don't know.
Everything.
Neighborzilla. Bye.
This has been Ladykillers.
This is true.
We're out. Peace.